Group 43 will present a research titled Customer Perception on Halal Logistics. Here is our group members.
Now I will start with background of this study. This study focused on the rapid growth of the halal industry not only in food but also in logistics service. The demand for halal product and service continues to rise in line with the increasing global Muslim population. However, not all logistic companies have full halal certification, which may affect customers' trust. Therefore, this study aimed to examine customer perception of halal logistics in Malaysia and identify the factors influencing them, such as halal awareness, religiosity, the importance of end-to-end halal logistics, and willingness to pay extra. Next, I will tell about problem statement. Firstly, from Karya and Asari 2016. Malaysia is a global halal hub, but public understanding of halal logistics is still low. Most consumers focus only on the halal logo, but not the logistic process that ensure halal integrity. Second is Yaakob 2020 and Timan 2013. Few logistic companies are halal certified, causing trust issue among customers. Lastly, from Hussein 2021, halal awareness and religiosity strongly influence customer perception. Those with higher awareness and religious commitment show greater trust in halal logistics. Next, I will tell about research objective. We have 4 research objectives. First is to investigate the level of customer perception toward halal logistics in Malaysia. Next is to examine the relationship between halal awareness and customer perception on halal logistics in Malaysia. Next, to measure the relationship between religiosity and customer perception in Malaysia. Next, to analyze the relationship between perceived importance of end-to-end halal and customer perception on halal logistics in Malaysia. Lastly, to identify the relationship between willingness to pay extra and customer perception on halal logistics in Malaysia. Next is significance of the study. This study is important because it helps us understand how Malaysia customers view halal logistics and what factors influence their perception. First is for the halal logistics industry. The study helped logistic companies understand what customers expect and value. With the knowledge, companies can improve their service, build customer trust, and ensure halal integrity throughout the supply chain. Next is for academic and research purpose. It adds new knowledge to halal logistics studies, especially focusing on customer perception, which is less explored compared to company perception.
Assalamualaikum. For this literature review, the focus is on customer perception towards halal logistics. Halal logistics plays an important role in the halal supply chain, particularly in Malaysia, which positions itself as a global halal hub. As a result, the demand for logistics services that ensure halal integrity from the sources to the end customer continues to increase. However, despite its growing importance, research on halal logistics is still limited, especially studies that examine customer perception. Most previous studies emphasize company perspective instead of the consumer viewpoint. Therefore, this study explores customer perception by examining 4 key factors: halal awareness, religiosity, perceived importance of end-to-end halal logistics, and willingness to pay extra. This study uses the theory of planned behavior by Eisen 1991 as the underpinning theory. According to TPB, a person's behavior is influenced by 3 components, which attitude, subjective norm, and perceived behavior control. In this study, these components are linked to the research variable, which attitude refers to halal awareness and willingness to pay extra. Subjective norm refers to religiosity. Perceived behavior control refers to perceived importance of end-to-end halal. Through this theory, we can understand how this variable influences customer perception towards halal logistics. For the previous studies, Customer Perception on Halal Logistics by Yaakob et al. 2023 found that consumers have a more positive perception when they understand how halal logistics perceive product integrity along the supply chain. Halal Awareness by Ahmadun and Rifin 2024 state that the higher a person's awareness towards halal matter, the higher their tendency to choose halal logistics services. Religiosity, with the same authors, mentioned that consumers with higher religiosity have a stronger expectation for end-to-end halal assurance. Perceived importance of end-to-end halal, Husna et al. 2024 found that maintaining halal integrity throughout the entire logistic chain increases customer confidence and trust. Willingness to pay extra, Majid et al. 2021 highlight that consumers are willing to pay extra when halal logistics ensures safety, segregation, and halal assurance. I will pass to the next presenter. Thank you.
Assalamualaikum and hi. So I will continue for chapter 3, which is research methodology. For this study, we use a quantitative research design to achieve our objective. The study focused on the relationship between four independent variables, which is halal awareness, religiosity, perceived importance of end-to-end halal, and willingness to pay extra, and the dependent variable, which is customer perception towards halal logistics. Data we collected using an online questionnaire through Google Forms, and the study applies a correlation design to see how these factors are related. Next is study population. The study population for this research include user of logistics service in Malaysia such as Post Malaysia, JNT, Shopee Express, DHL and other providers. It covers people from different age, gender, jobs and background who use these services. They are suitable respondents because they can share their perception about halal logistics. Since halal logistics is still not well known among users, this group helps the research study their level of awareness, religiosity, and willingness to pay more for halal logistics services. Next is sample size. For this study, we selected a sample size of 100 respondents to complete the survey. The sample size is very important because it affects how accurate and reliable our result will be. A suitable sample helps represent the whole population more effectively. The sample size was determined based on the Krejci and Morgan 1970, which provide a guideline for choosing the right number of respondent for research. For next part is sampling technique. For this study, we use simple random sampling to collect data. This method gives everyone an equal chance to be selected and help reduce research bias. It is suitable for our research because we involve 100 random respondents to study customer perception towards halal logistics. By using this method, we can get fair and unbiased responses from a diverse group of people across Malaysia. Next is research instrument development. For this study, we use a structured questionnaire as the main research instrument to collect quantitative data. The questionnaire is based on the study objective and variable, which include halal awareness, religiosity, perceived importance of end-to-end halal, willingness to pay extra, and customer perception towards halal logistics. It has 6 parts. Part A cover demographic information such as gender, age and occupation, while Part B to F measure the independent and dependent variable using a 5-point Likert scale. From 1 scale which is strongly disagree to 5 scale which is strongly agree. This helps the research analyze the relationship between variables and understand factors influencing customer perception of halal logistics. Next is procedure for data analysis. In this study, we collected data using questionnaire and analyzed it with SPSS. We used 2 types of analysis. First is descriptive and inferential. Descriptive analysis summarize information using frequency, percentage, average, and standard deviation. Second is inferential analysis examine a relationship between variable and test our research hypothesis.